as a collective, we will F you up just with our energy. You know what I mean? Yeah, DJ Vlad felt it. DJ Vlad felt it. That's why he tapped out. He was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and apologize to sis because y'all are sending me all kind of roots, work, energy. Y'all out here. You got my computer crashing. You know, when we come together and we start focusing on your fuckery, we could body a nigga. We could literally body it. We could make a heart stop. No, I'm serious. I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass. You got to be careful because you got a lot of power, melanated people. You are what they call the godhead. Do you know that? Do you know that you are called the godhead? We are not affected by collective white people's energy because if that was the case, many of us would be sicker, right, than we are these days. Many of us wouldn't be able to get out the bed if a collective of Europeans, no, it doesn't work like that. They're not the godhead. They're not the godhead. Unfortunately, if they were the godhead, they would turn that shit against us. We are the godhead. So when we focus on something collectively, we could destroy it. We could bring it down. We could disrupt it. We could short circuit it. And we also could jumpstart it because we have the spark of life. Do you remember? Do you remember the quote unquote the Transformer movies talk about the spark, right? They talk about the all spark. Well, we have what is called a divine spark. You know what I mean? Henceforth, why we start all of the trends. They're not giving us our trends. We're starting them, and then they're monetizing it, and then they sell it back to us. We are the godhead of the planet. And that's not to be arrogant. That's not to be boisterous, but we are the godhead. And we have to carry ourselves like the godhead. Another winner in this rap beef, one of the biggest winners in the rap beef outside of P. Diddy and his little Christian Combs and them niggas is Ozempic. It's the Ozempic Olympics right now. God damn it. I never heard the name of a quote unquote medicine as much. I didn't even hear people say Moderna that much. They are speaking about this weight loss drug. And if anybody was following the stocks on that shit, it went up. It shot up. It shot up. You know what I'm talking about? That shit that got Al Roker looking like Soldier Boy. You know what I mean? They got Al Roker looking like Soldier Boy. God damn it. The Ozempic. Yo, be fuck that. Yo, who's on the undercard for the Drake and the Kendrick fight? BBL versus the Ozempic. That's the new war. The undercard is BBL's versus Ozempic. That's the new fight. That's gonna be on the undercard for the Drake and the Kendrick Royal the Thriller in Manila. They need to bring them niggas to Africa, let them fight in Zimbabwe or one of those countries that just got their independence. Why don't one of those countries that got gold? Because you know Drake is he's a thirsty Jew. One of those countries that just got liberated and they got control of their gold, they need to say, yo, my friend, because they know the power of Americans, right? Yo, Kendrick. Yo, my friend, I tell you this. This is a good idea. Kendrick. Let's have Thriller in Manila, you and Drake. You know what I'm talking about? You and Drake. Yeah, and then offer them niggas some gold. That would break the internet. Shout out to my Zimbabweans and all of my Africans out there. Think about that. You know what I'm talking about? Think about that. That shit would be lit. You know what I mean? A little battle royal, a little, you know, not a physical fight. No way. We don't want it to get physical. I think, who you think will win that fight? Who you think will win that fight? There's a height difference. You know what I mean? Drake got BBLs. Drake got a BBL weight difference. You know what I mean? All that water weight. He got a BBL weight difference. He might pounce on a little man. I'm not saying a physical. I'm saying more a rap battle in Manila, Thriller in Manila, a rap battle in Zimbabwe. A rap battle in Zimbabwe. You know what I'm saying? Take it to Africa. You know what I mean? Where they gonna do it in Israel? You know what I'm talking about? Where they gonna have a rap battle on Drake's turf in Tel Aviv, nigga, with the red heifers? Nah, take that nigga to Africa. It's since he want to be one of us. Him and take him to Africa. Have you ever seen Drake in Africa? Huh? I never seen him in Africa. A nigga could get a BBL, he could get a BDL. You know what I'm talking about? If a nigga get a BBL, there's no limit to what he would get surgery on. You remember that. You know, I don't trust no nigga with a BBL. If he get a BBL, he get a BDL too. You know what I'm talking about? These niggas is out here playing unfair. You know, they playing unfair. The game is unfair. You know? But yeah, man, you know, they out here. Where's all of that weight going? The Ozempic is taken away. Is that going? Because people that shit is eating the weight up. I don't know. Did you see you? Could somebody Google that? I'm kind of like throwing at. I'm going through the Rolodex to think, did I ever see Drake in Africa with the kids around him? And I don't think I ever saw that. I don't think that he took that tour. I know that Kendrick went to the continent, but if you're a global star who's out here jacking people's flows and whatnot, I would expect to see you on the continent when Afro Beats is like super lit. You dig? Yo, is that Shango? That's how you pronounce it? Fam, why didn't you tell me that you was in Connecticut? When I was staying in Connecticut, I was in Hartford. But the way Hartford is set up, I think West Hartford is because they used to live. Who's from Hartford, Connecticut? Who's from CT? This is a perfect description or example of who these people are. So if you know where Main Street is, right? If you know where Main Street is, that's the black part of town. That's the black part of town. But that black part of town, yeah, South Africa does not count. I don't think South Africa counts, right? Okay, so Bridgeport is like that as well. So they was living in the hood, right? These are Drake's peoples. They was living in the hood in Hartford. They all collectively left the hood and went to West Hartford. When did they do that? When they got the stimulus check. Keep in mind. When they got the stimulus check. When they got accepted into highbrow society or blue blood society and they leveled up, they left the hood and they let our people, mostly Jamaicans and FBAs, move into their rundown houses in Hartford. Then they went into West Hartford and they turned into Drake. Come on now. That's what happened. When they was in the hood, they wasn't pompous. They wasn't running around acting Hollywood. They wasn't on that type of time. But they left us. They left their house. They left their real estate, and they moved on up like George Jefferson. And then they started acting against the best interests of melanated people. They done it in Connecticut. They did it on Eastern Parkway. They've done it everywhere where they've taken over the real estate. These are not. This is a fact. These are not speculations. These are not speculations. You did? You said they moved to Westport? Yeah, they got Bristol, you know, all of those little areas over there and Bristol is mostly melanated, but yeah, they heavy in West Hartford. Heavy in West Hartford. And they leave a lot of shit to the Jamaicans. They left Flatbush to the Jamaicans in Brooklyn. When I lived in Flatbush, they had just left. And they left it to the Jamaicans. They left it to the people from the islands because they have a connection through the islands based off of, is it real? Based off of the fact that they was on an island, they tied into slavery, based off of a lot of things like that. Okay. And they've been doing a lot of things. And I'm just here to say that those days have to come to an end. It was fun while it lasted. But that era is over. It died with the eclipse. Look how many things are dying with the eclipse. Look how many things are dying with the eclipse. Look how many things are basically how many suns are setting. You feel me? It's mashing up the elasticity in people's skin and making people Ozempic, making people look old fast. Oh man. Yeah, I seen some of that. You know, I seen some of that. Yeah, and keep in mind, these areas get run down by drugs. They get run down by drugs. So Hartford had a scourge of drugs in the 90s, right around the time when they played the real estate. They played a real estate game. There's a scourge in these neighborhoods. The real estate sinks, and then boom, what do? They buy the shit back and whatnot on the penny, like Monopoly, Baltic Ave. So they'll live somewhere, they'll abandon it. You know what I mean? They'll be living on like Pennsylvania Ave. They abandon it for 10 years. They flood that shit with all type of state-sponsored programs to break down the community. They flood it with the liquor stores because you know they out here pointing liquor licenses. They flood it with the fake foods. They flood it with the churches because they out here giving people the 501Cs and all of that. They flood it with the quote unquote faulty sewage systems, faulty pipes, and then they run down the quote unquote real estate value, and then they buy it on a penny, and then they regentrify it. It's like a 40-year flip. You have to be in it to win it. Shout out to Kafunya in the building. Do you see the new Franklin Ave, Sherwin? Come on, fam. I walked on Franklin Ave and I was like, where's the danger at? Like I was appalled. I was like, I don't feel danger. I don't feel nervous enough. Where's the fucking danger? Y'all are taking the essence of Franklin Ave away from me. I was offended. I was like, I don't want to see a fucking dog barbershop. I don't want to see a barbershop for dogs. So they playing a long game. They playing a long game, and you can expect first generation Haitians, first generation Jamaicans who come out of poverty to understand what is taking place all around them. They are in poverty. They don't know what the fuck. They don't know that they're running down their neighborhood's real estate value. They don't know that they're playing into the prison complex industry. So the only way that we can change anything is by raising the frequency. Our people have to be taught daily. Fuck all of the bullshit. We went through 30. We went how long? However long Drake's reign at the top was, is how long the reign of somebody who is the complete opposite has to be at the top. In the same way that they played us 20 songs every hour, all of these people were connected to Drake. I know what it is now. It is the UMG stimulus package. I have receipts. I have research. I'm showing it on Sunday. It is the UMG goddamn stimulus package, and they all connected. He is basically the face of this machine, and they've been utilizing him to push their agenda for years upon years upon years. And prior to that, the first fuck boys was Cash Money. Okay, that's why it's a natural progression. They were using Baby to fuck around and push a bunch of fuckery. They gave him $30 million to push a bunch of fuckery on our people. And he, who is Drake, is a remnant. He's a residue from that. Okay, he's the residue. And they basically handed him the reins for the next 10 years because you can't run shit into the ground. They told Baby, go fall back. You got to get from behind it. You got to get behind the camera because people can't see you too much because they're going to start asking questions. Lil Wayne, sit down. You got Nicki and Drake. We're going to let them be the pariahs for right now. They're going to be the new pariahs. Y'all going to get the money. And they sat down. Yeah, they told Snoop and Dre, you got to sit down because you can't dangle these niggas in front of the people too long. They're going to start asking questions. So you signed to a nigga that was signed to a nigga who was signed to a nigga who said he was signed to that nigga. You know what I mean? The rabbit hole goes deep. So they got these black mobsters like Jay Prince who will basically whack you, right? You couldn't say nothing against Drake in the South because Baby and Jay Prince would get on the phone and get on the plane and shut you down. You couldn't do it. You could not do it. They would, you could get bodied fucking around. You could get bodied, bro. You could get touched. So people were on point. They were like, I ain't fucking, because niggas is really getting hit in these streets. Because when you give Cash Money unlimited money, you have unlimited killers. When you give Drake unlimited money and he's rolling around with the Wassa and all of them, you got unlimited shooters. You have an unlimited budget to feed these shooters. They will lay something down for $5,000. Nigga, that's 1 hour of streaming. You want me to open up the phone lines, Drake? I'm gonna open up the phone lines for Drake, man. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna do this. We're gonna open up the lines for like 20 minutes because you know, like I said, Mon has some things that he needs to do, but we vibing, and because we vibing, you know what I'm talking about. I want to hear from y'all. We're not gonna make this a one-way conversation. I want to hear how y'all feeling and whatnot. I want to hear how y'all think. I want to hear what's on your mind. Why not? You know? So the ones that are still endorsing bad habits need to be removed. They're pouring into the agenda, ultimately hurting the collective. I'm just saying, especially causing confusion and separating blacks. So once again, the enemy of my enemy is who? My friend. When it came time to clean him up, like you saw in this Avengers, there's anti-heroes that had to team up with each other to fight these niggas, right? So Kendrick got to get with Future, right, in order to fight. It doesn't make Future the best person, you know, to follow and listen to, right? But if I were to go to war, I would want to activate people who I know are warlike. I don't want to necessarily activate people who might run when they see blood and everything. You want to activate somebody who's kind of like battle worn and battle tested. So when it comes to war, we can't necessarily judge people from the metrics of righteousness because that's not what war is about. That's not what war is about in particular. That's not how war is fought, right? We'll deal with certain things in terms of these artists after we get this nigga out the way. You know, they call Kendrick on the bat line. All right, we got a guest in the building. Let me open up the line. Let me not be rude. Chosen one. Peace, peace, peace.
Peace, God.
Peace, God. You might have to turn the phone down real quick. Oh man, he'll be back. He'll be back. I'm gonna drop the link one more again. You know what I'm talking about? If y'all want to pull up, you know what I mean. You know, ladies, throw a fucking hoodie on. You know what I mean. Throw your hat. You don't gotta get. You know what I'm talking about. It's just me. It's just me. You don't gotta get glammed up. It's just me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Faith Wednesday, I guess I don't need to call. Don't be nervous. Just call on in. You know what I'm talking about? It's just, you know what I mean? Just throw the hoodie on. You know what I'm talking about? Throw the hoodie on the show. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. This is not a fashion show. It's just Big B. Throw the airport bonnet on. Fuck it, man. Throw the shit on like you're going to the airport, man. Throw the Tina Turner wig on. Fuck it. Throw the gold shit that Serena had on. Throw the aluminum dress on and just come and pull up on Unc, man. Come talk to me. Throw the gold aluminum Serena dress on. Come talk to me, man. You know what I mean? I ain't judging. You know what I'm talking about? You don't gotta get your eyebrows done. Yo, the first person to show up with a Serena dress get a free ticket to the event on Sunday, man. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? We spreading love the Brooklyn way. First person to pull up with a Reynolds wrap dress on. I don't give a fuck if it's out of rainbow or sheen and whatnot. I ain't judging it. You get a free ticket. Just don't let it be a fella. Just don't let it be one of the fellas and whatnot, fellas. But please behave yourselves. You know what I'm talking about? Don't pull up on this motherfucker wearing a Serena dress just because you want a ticket. We're gonna do a Q&A for y'all. We're gonna do a Q&A. We're not gonna leave you out. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, so it's all good. You know what I mean? I like to communicate and engage. You know, I don't like a one-way conversation all the time. I'm a communicator. If you haven't realized it by now, I could literally sit around and talk all fucking day if I wanted to. You know what I mean? But I don't. But I could, you know what I mean? Because I like to talk, I like to build. But yeah. T Mooser. He said T-Mo Serena. I can't unsee it. Yeah. Look, I promise you, if you haven't realized it, the Drake stimulus package was feeding all of the top 50. The Cardi B's was on the stimulus package. Snoop was on a stimulus package. All of them was on a stimulus package through Spotify and Universal Music Group. It's crazy how many people are quote unquote you know shills or tools of the industry. We got Foxy in the building. Foxy, I'm about to bring you in. Whoop whoop. I love your background. All right. Yes, here we go. Peace. Greetings.
Indeed. Salute.
Salute. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just want to
Yes.
chime in really quick.
Thank
Uh,
you. I appreciate that. They had me out here feeling lonely.
I know when you was like, you know what, just throw your hoodie on. I was like, let me just put my little scarf on and
You feel me? I had to lighten it up. Like there be pressure sometimes.
yes, pressure.
There
I
be
mean,
pressure
it's red
sometimes.
pill. Like, we don't want
You
to fan
know,
out and stuff, but there's a certain level to it. But anyway,
you on your level.
So to chime in on the Kendrick and Drake, Kendrick won for the culture. I
Yes.
had said it yesterday on your live that he brought the spirit of Tupac Amaru Shakur to this battle.
Look, that
Like,
statement. Look, hold on. That statement that you made was so profound because it is a statement that wraps up the whole goddamn thing. I might have to get on academics tonight and just say that he
yeah,
brought the authentic spirit. He don't got Tupac ring and he's not playing with AI. He brought the authentic spirit of Tupac Amaru Shakur since Drake wanted to summon him, correct? So
correct.
Tupac is in the backdrop of this whole thing. And like you said, he came through and channeled that man and was able to bring it to him organically through the lyrics. He didn't have to recite a Pac lyric. He didn't have to act like Pac, but he showed up like Pac at war. And the
Indeed.
AI was not Pac at war.
Correct.
You on with
And
that?
I didn't hear, honestly, I'd only heard Meet the Grams and They're Not Like Us. And I didn't hear anything from Drake. And I really, like most of us,
You didn't hear
we
Euphoria?
listen. I'm sorry.
You didn't hear Euphoria?
No, I came late to the show. I got caught up in the rap show over the weekend, and I didn't hear it.
You had things that you needed to deal with. You had life. However, there are videos that play all of the songs. It's about a 40-minute sit-in. They'll give you some Drake. They'll give you some Ye. I mean, they'll give you some Kendrick and whatnot. There's the one song that was his first song. That was his first reply, and I feel I've been debating with my team, but I feel that Euphoria was the best out of the collection. Me personally, you know. So I don't want you to miss out on a good meal.
Right.
In hindsight, though, when you listen to it, it has a different appeal than when you were in that moment listening to it. It's always good to look at things in hindsight is 2020. So that's where we are right now.
Yeah, I definitely got caught up in the rapture of the weekend, and I missed. But even that glimmer at that moment, I was just, my jaw was dropped. My son, he's 25, he'll be 26 and next week. So we both like, yo, what is
bonding moment?
What?
Bonding moment.
Indeed.
It was either a bonding moment or a wrestling moment in certain households. Like, wait, you a Drake fan?
Right.
So I was able to troll my son. You feel me? And he's mad at me. He's this old ass.
Yeah, because that's
throwing my age at me.
Right.
I had to tell him. I was like, I said, hold on. I said, the 40 of 2024 is we're not the 40 of my father's era, young man. I said we're like 20 years old. You know what I'm talking about? So you're not gonna use age to an ageless person. It don't work no more. That shit is not, man. What I told him, I said, fam, we listen to the same music. Right, it would be different if I'm listening to Bo Derek, what was his name? BB King and all of them. And I'm literally looking like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, on the river, you know what I mean?
Right.
We don't look like that no more.
Yeah, that's the beauty of us Gen X's, and we can merge with the millennials and the Z's, because I have a 15-year. We met back in the Bronx back 2017, and I got the Scorpion King on my stand over here. So it was a random Bronx moment. You remember, right?
The homeschool thing.
Yes, sir. I remember. Yeah, man, real random. So just for everybody out there in social media land, what you see right here with Brother Red is the real deal. Holyfield, very humble, and I mean, it was a.
I'm literally nicer in public. People would be like,
yeah, and and I didn't, it was yeah, like, and we were like crossing paths because our children were in the same area. So, I didn't want to come off on some groupie fandom. Like, you're a person at the end of the day. So I want to respect your boundaries. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, I've been watching y'all since 2015. And I'm like, you're not around in my hood. Like, no way. So anyway, but yeah, I'm going to drop down. But again, Kendrick, I mean, I'm Pac through and through. I've been Pac since '91, and like, he definitely gave that essence, and he didn't have to quote
malnourished.
Yeah,
Pac fans have been malnourished because when Drake took over, they explicitly made sure he was the gatekeeper. That energy never came in. He did not give a stimulus package to Mos Def. He did not give a stimulus package to anybody that was talking about the George Floyd protest. He did not give a stimulus package to anybody that was dealing with revolution. Who did he get with? He got with the drug dealers and talked about drugs. He got with the gangbangers and talked about gangs. He got with the womanizers and talked about womanizing and whatnot. He went for the lower hanging fruit in Atlanta, where they not on that time. You feel me? They're on fuckery time. I'm sorry to say, but it is what it is. This is a lawless state. Okay, this is a narco state. It's a lawless state. When the politicians are tied in with the strippers, you don't have a state anymore. They'll say it. They'll be like, yo, everybody is sleeping with the same girls from Magic City. From the highest heights of entrepreneurs, all of those financial guru dudes that you see on the Instagram, even down to the police, the black police out here, the correctional officers, and then you have the hood street dudes who's killing shit. They're all with the same women in Atlanta. So this is a lawless state, yo. This is a narco state. So he comes into a narco state and he utilizes the raw talent and whatnot. These men are in poverty, and he uses his stimulus package to put them deeper in poverty. He didn't take them out of poverty. Young Thug is on trial right now. He's in poverty. Little Baby is running around. He don't have his family no more. His lyrics, he's compromised. He's running around chasing billionaires. He's more poorer today than he was the day before he met Drake. How about that? People don't see the trade-off. You trading off a lot when you let him in. You gave him what you gave him, the keys to your city, a pass, and he gave you a Billboard hit. That hit ain't enough. But thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, and I wanted to just lastly digress with Brother Blue. He had mentioned, this was a couple of years ago, as far as like the energy, because when he went down to Atlanta, he had gave a correlation as far as like the feminine energy compared to New York City having the masculine energy. And if you're not in your masculine, like Atlanta can kind of throw you off. And I've never been down there, but I could feel what he's saying because I've been in New York City. I'm 40. I'll be 48 in July, so I could feel like New York City women to kind of have that masculine because that's the energy. We're like landlocked in with this type of ley line and stuff like that. So I like the way that your brother had brought that correlation. So, and there's no disrespect to being feminine and masculine. It's just
not at all.
The energies,
the grids, right? The ley lines, the quote unquote, you know, the altitude and everything, you know. New York has turned into what I call a litty city, right? A litty city, and sexy drill has replaced drill. So songs like For Sure, For Sure, Ice Spice, the rise of Ice Spice, the rise of all of that. So there's becoming a balance because the girls are even. They still masculine. They still be like SMD and all of that, and they still tapping into that energy. However, they are now softening up because of the fact that the sexy drill is almost like it's doing more to give honor and praise to women than it was when it was just that angry shit, and women were not even, they were a casualty in certain wars in New York. So now the focus
and rightfully so, because as you mentioned, not to cut your bill, but as you mentioned earlier about 2 hours ago when you were tapping in with Moni Love and the Salt and Pepper, those women, there was this feminine aspect. But then when you got Little Kim and Foxy, like they had to come with the sword sharpened because they was going against they had big hitters. So, but they still kept like the sexiness, but they had the masculine. So there was a balance. But I'm gonna bow out and salute to Queen Kafuna and brother there. I know his face. I can't remember the name, but salute everybody.
Don't goddamn forget the goddamn face.
We got.
I know my brother. Salute.
This is a NY. This is a NY circle right here.
It is.
Back of Whole Foods having a fight for us.
Shimon with me, goddammit. Yeah,
that's my brother right there. Salute.
It's too easy, man. It's too easy.
Yeah, this is an excellent bill. And for me, like I was a teenage mom, and so I grew up with my kids in the era of video music box. When they come home from school, they would have to throw on video music box, Rap City, and then 106 and Park, the MySpace era, and your Four Corners newspaper. So, I'm like, okay, I listen to, the KRS people and people that deal with consciousness. And sometimes I, of course, got an opportunity to see Biggie Smalls and Little Kim and all of that because I was in the game dealing with promotion and publicity at SOBs. Yes, so, I would be putting up posters and different things like that when I first got in the game. And I would see this picture of little Kim with everything exposed out, and I'm just saying, what is going on here?
Oh,
You
nah,
know,
Drake
poster.
won in '97.
That
If you go
poster
back
right
Say
there.
she talks about exactly who Drake is, line
Right.
for line, letter for letter, word for word.
Who's that?
Lil Kim,
And what song?
Money Talks, off of the Money Talks soundtrack, the movie,
And what year was that? You remember?
1997.
I'm
Oh,
telling you.
so she was channeling a Drake before there was even a Drake.
Boom.
Interesting.
Facts.
And another thing that came to my knowledge that I was like, it blew me away, was Kendrick's first diss to Drake was on the T'Challa, right? The Black Panther soundtrack. The song with him and SZA, where he was like, yo, I don't even like you, right? So that was his first, because he was like, don't publicly, because Drake had publicly congratulated him for outselling Drake, right? Passive aggressive shit, sassy aggressiveness. So on the song, Kendrick was like, don't congratulate me. I don't even like you, bro. And they was clapping, huh?
Gemini. It was a Gemini. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was a Gemini who broke Drake ass down. So it was that voice. It was that communication. It was Taurus. It was and Gemini.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it goes
really
back to what exactly.
You know what I mean? Got him. You know what I mean? That's what it was.
People are like, I'm not feeling Drake, right? I'm not feeling Drake because he had the people's hearts and their minds, right? And they were feeling him. But when the Gemini came with a different type of energy, a stronger throat chakra and whatnot, and he came with conviction. So when somebody is convicting you and you can't unconvict, you know what I mean? And your conviction is not stronger than the conviction that somebody is laying upon you, and they're doing it on a beat, they're doing it on wax and whatnot, man, you can have a problem on your hands. So the conviction, going back to what I was saying before about the word and how the power of the word, you could get smited with the word. The word has the world in the upheaval. The men were not verbally arguing with one another. They didn't have a press conference. You don't even hear Drake talking on the track, but you're not hearing Kendrick talking. He's only communicating through the music. He's casting a spell only through. He didn't even give you a visual yet, and you know that he's the master of the visuals.
Also, if you look at the chart at the time, you had Mercury, Venus. What else? The new moon. All that stuff was going on in Taurus. That's a fact. If you go back to the chart, you guys can look and see what was actually going on. You had like 3 to 4 different places in Taurus during that battle. Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want to say another thing, how I got kind of like turned on to Drake's music is that I did a little bit of research about him, and he said some of his music in the early days was inspired by Sade.
Yes, he loves Sade. Yeah, he has a tattoo.
Yes.
To be honest with you, Drake was a conscious rapper. Kendrick Lamar was a conscious rapper. And Cole was a conscious rapper, and Big Sean was towing the line. We're talking 2010. Drake, once he got on with that mixtape, what was that? Not the Sorry If You're Reading This You're Too Late. The one before that, with Best I Ever Had on it.
Mm-hmm.
Once he got fame with that mixtape, it was never a conscious word after that.
He switched because that's what got me, interested and said, "Oh, I'm a Sade. I love Sade. I love Sade and her music and everything like that." And so when I found out that he was really into Sade, I said, "Oh, okay. Let me check him out." But then, like you said, when he pivoted, it was a whole new, how can I say, a low vibrational type of. I don't know. I'm not digging him at all right now.
Right. It was
I'm telling you.
Right. When you realize, you got to keep in mind, he's coming from Young Money. He's coming through Lil Wayne, at the end of Lil Wayne's run, right? He ran through hip hop and desecrated it. He dragged the black woman like they dragged that man in Texas on the back of a truck. Lil Wayne did that for about 6 to 7 years with his very explicit, super duper misogynistic viewpoints of women. He had some type of discrepancy with a woman prostitute who took his virginity, and he had some type of weird situation going on with Baby and whatnot, and that began to play out in the court. Yeah, 444, y'all.
You can't make this up. You cannot. The alignment is real. The alignment is real. So I don't want to stay on. I'll make my comments in the chat, and then if I have to come back on again to say something. But I just wanted to big you up too, Red Pill, because I've been watching this whole scenario, and I feel the only way, one of the ways that we can take back our power and reclaim our power is to stop supporting companies and corporations that don't put nothing, don't give you anything back in return at all.
For sure.
And I'll land my plane right there. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
Ross.
May
11th.
Yes.
Nicholas, Brooklyn. Alongside Infadishi.
That's my sister's birthday.
6 p.m. Support Nicholas, Brooklyn. We're doing it. We're doing the spiritual legacies while people are walking. It doesn't matter if you are 80. It doesn't matter if you're 7 years young. As long as you're doing that work, that's what we give our plants to while they're here in the land of the living. Give thanks and praise. Keep up the great work.
Appreciate you.
Booyaka.
Booyaka. Appreciate you, Kafunya. Yes, I will have Ross Ben in the building. I think Monday he will be pulling up to the platform. That is one of the alumni. Now, somebody made a statement about black people talking about K-Dot and Drake more than Israel, Gaza, and Ukraine combined. Yes, that's not our war. We don't have nothing to do with it. We're not obligated to talk about it. What you pay attention to, you actually give energy to. So the fact that our people wasn't glossing over it and giving it all of their godhead energy, that's a fucking plus. I've been talking about it wholehearted. I've been diving into it, but you don't need all of us to dive into it, because all of us don't need to be putting our attention onto that war, because if we don't know what we really want, we can exasperate it. We are the gasoline on the fire. You start talking about some shit, you are the gasoline. That's why we made this whole thing blow up, because the atmosphere is already charged up with war energy as it is. It didn't have to, it's not, we was not in peacetime. We was not in peacetime. We was already in wartime. They out here. I seen babies getting blown to smithereens every day leading up to this shit. From October 7th up until the day they started battling, I was seeing baby cadavers. As a human being, I'm not supposed to be seeing that. I'm not supposed to be seeing that. But I was exposed to that on many, many different occasions. This whole thing with the Ukraine and people in America are suffering monetarily wise. And every time I look up, they're giving them $100 billion.
For nothing.
For nothing. You didn't even smack nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what are you doing with all of that money? So,
man,
when the K-Dot and the Drake thing is tied to the Ukraine, it is tied to Gaza, it is tied to this whole thing. It's all one. That's the thing that people are not realizing. Who does this man represent? He represents all of those people at once. He stands in the quote unquote placement. He's a placeholder for quote unquote Zionism, right? That comes out of Ukraine. Those are Ukrainians in Israel. What the fuck? Those are Ukrainians that got put in ovens and whatnot. Those are the Ukrainians. That's who the Russians are fighting. They're fighting a Nazi regime. That's who Russia is going against, a Nazi regime called the Ukraine. And when you look at the ethnicity of many of the Nazis, surprisingly enough, it's them. So those people that went over there and took over them people land, and then they implemented apartheid, those are Ukrainians as well. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's who Drake is responsible for. That's who had the fucking rap game in a chokehold for a decade, and they've been pushing filth on our people. They the ones signing the gangbangers. They're the ones signing the drug dealers. They're the ones putting our women out there looking like bottom feeders. That's Drake's peoples. That's the same people that we said got to go. That's the same people that Kanye tried to tell you about. Why is everybody playing fucking dumb? I don't understand, bro. I mean, people have been shouting from the mountaintops. George Zimmerman is a Spanish Jew. They've been, and all of the police killings, they was like, I was telling people, oh, the police is getting trained by the IDF. The police they're going over there. The same police that's putting knees on the necks of people, shooting them. Freddie Gray, Mike Brown, all of them people tied in to these same people every single time. You talking about people talking about Drake and Kendrick more? No, it got to us now. And what's going to galvanize our people? The culture that has a grip on us. We don't care about all of that other shit. We're not into politics like that. We into hip hop. That's our politics. And this shit is political like a motherfucker. Huh. I don't know I don't know how to say it any other way. It's political.
Man, Rich Phil, it's like this, brother, man. They cannot operate in the dark without us. Though they are the things that go bump in the motherfucking night. Can you dig it? They can't do shit without us. Bottom line, if nobody can see that shit, you a dumbass.
You can't operate without us. You need us.
Yeah.
So our wealth, they say, pay attention. Your attention is worth something. Your wealth is in your eyeballs, right? The whole slit theory, the theory about consciousness. What you pay attention to is what's real. What you focus on, you collapse the wave and you make it real. Like in the video games, whatever you're observing becomes real, right? So when you observe something that initially, if they're giving you propaganda about a fake war, and then you are invested in it and you're observing it and you're making it real, then the shit is going to be real. It's not real like that. So,
basically, if you pay attention to that nonsense, you've been hoodwinked.
You be hoodwinked. You gonna get them niggas in the Ukraine popping bottles. They in the Ukraine popping bottles. They having all kind of fun. What war? The hell? What are you talking about? I don't know. The Ukraine? Nah. Ah, man. I don't know what they doing over there. I could care less. You feel me? But I do know that they killed 30,000 innocent people over there in Gaza, and nobody want to talk about that. And I've been literally crying on this channel for them people, and y'all don't give a fuck. I've been literally pleading for these people, and what do I hear? That's not our people. What do you mean? They don't look like us. And I'm like, fam, you don't see the black people getting blown to smithereens on the Gaza Strip? You are ignoring the fact that there's mad melanated people that's called Afro-Palestinians. And the shit is in Africa. But nobody cares. But y'all Christians, and they out here bombing your holy land. But why am I the one with all of my emotions attached to it? Why am I the one teaching everybody? You should be teaching me.
Because they are Caesar. They are Caesar. That's who they are. Dishonorable, disloyal, always sitting on a fucking banana peel. Fuck out of here. It's you niggas. It's you fuck niggas. Excuse my French.
Yeah, we're not gonna use we ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that. But
yeah, you're right.
You know,
we're gonna keep.
We have been.
PG.
Oh, let me bring Steve in. Steve, what's good, my brother?
Yo,
Peace.
Red Pill, what's good, man? Wow, you was going in.
I see that art
Hey,
on
man,
your
I
wall.
can't complain.
Is that a
Hey,
Kendrick
man, you know
on the
what it
wall?
You paid, yeah. That's Kendrick, that's Cole, this is Michael Jackson, and above them is Big and Pac. So yeah. I sat here for a reason, so I'm glad you peeping that.
Yeah, he got Voltron
Yeah.
for real over there. Yeah, I heard you.
Look,
yeah.
A pantheon, right? I'm a 70s baby. So my involvement is different than somebody who Kendrick or Cole or Drake is the equivalent to what I had with Jay, Nas, and Big.
Right.
You feel me? So it's like,
yeah,
this is important to the younger generation because they're invested a little bit different than how we made. We've been through these wars. We like, man, they gonna be all right. For y'all like, man, this shit is some this I heard about shit like this, but this is some different shit because it kind of like the sister came on and she said this weekend is when shit really kicked off. I remember being on Black Magic last Friday, 7 days ago, and we kind of like we was like, it's coming, like they about to drop, it's coming, it's gonna turn up, and Lord have mercy, the weekend was up. You know what I mean? It might have been one of the most active weekends in the history of hip hop. Fuck around, you dig? And I was seeing everybody's responses and I was paying attention to the streams and I was watching like the academics and I was just coming to the conclusion that the generations have a different ear and they are invested in their artists a little bit different just based off of the generations. What I do know unequivocally though is that Drake had the younger generation in a fucking chokehold. They could see no wrong in that man. They could question nothing that he did, and they didn't know what the fuck a ethnicity was prior to this weekend. They did not know. Facts. They had no idea. You feel me? And I think that that's important. I would tell every sister that goes on a Tinder date, ask that man his nationality. The fuck if he's a vanilla baby, ask him his nationality, and then do a little bit of research on how his nationality gets down with black women.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
Y'all owe it to yourselves.
Listen, Tubi gets a bad rap for having a bunch of, crazy stuff on her stuff. But one thing that's on Tubi right now, and I was telling somebody about it, and it just happened to pop up on Tubi, is a documentary called Drugs as Weapons Against Us. And Pac had an integral part of that documentary because what it was talking about was the connection between the CIA and a bunch of murders of like these Messiah type figures. And it wasn't just about music and hip hop, but especially.
What were you talking about?
Right. And the thing that somebody was talking about when they was breaking it down was there's a connection to the stock market and the street drug cartel. And they said that there's so much money being laundered that if that stopped happening, it would actually crash the stock market. So when you see, the prison pipeline through hip hop, through all of the stuff where they try to infiltrate the culture, that's been happening. And Pac talked about it when he was alive. He said, yo, I didn't have a criminal record until I got a record deal. Now all this crazy shit is happening because they had all them pages on him. They was studying him and they was worried about him politicizing the people.
Right. Because from a jit, he was considered a person of interest because of who his mother and his family was. Because keep in mind, right, it wasn't like they found Asada and brought it to America and then closed the case. Asada's case is open. So guess what? Everybody connected to Asada is still being under investigation because they have not found her. They have not got her.
Right.
So it's like if you're Tupac and you're out here making millions of dollars and you're on tour and you're moving around, shit, you could help Asada. you have more capabilities because a lot of the Panthers turned into drugs. They got hooked on drugs. They got compromised. So it's like, you know, the government, because they was traumatized from open warfare. They got basically they Gaza'd them niggas.
A lot of the ones that
J. Edgar Hoover, yeah, he was like Netanyahu on them niggas. So no, I'm serious. The PTSD put them on crack, right? The PTSD put them on crack. The PTSD of this war that they had no recourse for. They were getting knocked off. They were getting assassinated. They were getting put underneath the jail and whatnot. So they was like, Pac is a powder keg, because if he really leans into that revolutionary bastards of the party energy, he is going to divinely spark the gangbangers, because it's the gangbangers who are the bastards of the party. And what is the bastards of the party? They're the bastards of the Black Panther Party. So somewhere underneath them fucking Jerry curls, somewhere deep inside of the minds of those gangbangers is a revolutionary seed waiting to get watered. Pac had the opportunity to do it. That last album, Machiavelli, right? If he was able to perform it, and if he was able to follow up with it, he would have successfully been able to radicalize a large contingency of the bastards of the party. Because to be honest with you, they are the quote unquote desired army that people are trying to, they have an energy or on the West in these gangs and whatnot that is almost like we have nuclear weapons, but our nuclear energy has not been mined properly. We have not mined that nuclear energy to create this nuclear bomb, but we have yellow cake, and the shit is in Compton. The shit is in Cali, huh? We have that. Yes, we have that, and we have to cultivate it in order for it. It just don't become a weapon on its own. It has to be cultivated. Right. The music will cultivate it. The frequency will cultivate it. Movies may cultivate it. Film, you got to cultivate it. You got to get them people back. If they remember and put them back together, these people are dangerous. That's why Pac had to go. And you never saw any remnant of revolutionary on the quote unquote West Coast after that. Pac was trying to free the slaves. So for Drake to have his ring and to use him as AI and have the caucasity to say he's trying to free the slaves, you're not dealing with somebody that's just tone deaf. Fuck not being able to read the room. He's literally
he was defeated. He thought he defeated the Moors. What he thought this was.
To me, I look at it the same way.
Like what happened? Cyrus doesn't die. What happened?
I look at it the same way you do when you fighting a boss, like say in Mortal Kombat, right? The downfall of the boss was always the cockiness. When they thought they was too arrogant to get touched, when he started putting their defenses down, and then Shao Kahn, when he hit you with that hammer, it do some damage. But when he doing the point in the laughing deck, he too cocky, then you hit him with the combo. And you playing Kendrick short, this, that, and the third. Well, guess what? He just uppercut you and put you on your ass. Now
and that cockiness. Who saw Game of Thrones before? We need to have a watch party because that shit is very important. There was a cocky scene in There was a scene in Game of Thrones where there was a giant, and he was basically fighting. No, there was a giant, and he was fighting this very skilled swordsman. So the skilled swordsman had got the giant down and whatnot, and but he didn't finish the job. Art of war. You have to annihilate your opponent. You have to finish them. That's why they got finish him. Imagine if they didn't have finish him, and dude was able to get his strength back and then hit you with the uppercut. So he got cocky on the Game of Thrones episode. The giant smashed his head with a fucking stone and killed him. Drake's cocky moment was the AI song with Drake with Snoop and Tupac. He got cocky early in the fight and then got his shit rocked because that was his cocky moment. He didn't have to throw that out. That was a cocky moment where he was showing his quote unquote colors. He was out there doing what? He was giving them the Tootsie slide. He was showing he was twerking. Yeah, he was like, man, I got this shit. You know what I'm saying? He had his nails in. Nigga probably got his shit freshly done. He had the new name. He got off the phone with Sexy Red. Yeah, he was like, "We gonna release this."
Damn punch. What happened?
We gonna, and then
crazy.
Right. That was the chink in the armor that showed. So once they saw the chink, it was up from there. It's similar to like boxing. Once they see a chink in the armor, they're going to pound on that chink. Pause. You know what I mean? And that's what happened. They made him take it down. After that, nigga, you exposed. You try to get my homie. Now, imagine Kendrick. He was like, I got a Pulitzer Prize off of writing an album channeling Pac. So you mean to tell me you're gonna get this? You're gonna get the fucking holograph to go after me, and then you're gonna get a fake Snoop? Snoop is alive. I would put a lawsuit on that nigga if I was Snoop. How you gonna, yo, nephew? How you gonna, nephew? That's trespassing, nephew. You gotta counterfeit me in real life.
Come on, cuz. Can we do this shit?
Come on, cuz. I could have used the check.
The crazy thing about it, though, is right after Drake had posted the John Family Matters, right? I listened to it. I'm like, all right, this is a decent response, especially for Drake as a rapper and whatnot. But as soon as I listened to it, I said, yo, good response, but this is not enough. This is good for hip hop, but this is not enough. And then lo and behold, an hour later, boom, Kendrick drops Meet the Grams. And I say, yo, this shit is over. And the funny thing about it to me is I'm looking at the song titles and I'm thinking like there's many layers to it, but like Family Matters was a show. And it was, talking about family matters situations and whatnot. And then you had Meet the Browns, but instead of it being Meet the Browns, it was Meet the Grams. And it's like, yo, let me pull the curtain back because y'all cosplaying. So now instead of you keep lying to us and trying to control the narrative, I'm gonna tell the real version of the story that you're not telling, and I'm gonna put you on Front Street and I'm gonna stand on business. And I was like, damn, this was perfect because that was the jump start to my birthday weekend. So I said, they must be trying to do this to just make it a good weekend and shit. So
I
was enjoying that shit.
It's up.
Yeah.
You pacify him. I electrify him. Right? And the people are electrified right now. And the people who were Drake fans and stans and whatnot, they're being pacified. They're still being pacified. And we got electric. They electrified a whole contingency of cicada beetles and whatnot. And our brothers and uncles and cousins and younger sons and daughters, they like, oh, now y'all want to wake up out of your slumber. Yes, nigga, it is our thing. Hold on.
Yeah.
We got Drake in the building.
Wild shit. Yeah.
We got Aubrey in the building.
Yeah, nigga, wild shit, nigga.
Drake, we got to turn the sound off. Aubrey.
AG, what up, AG?
ADL Drake.
Oh man.
ADL Drake, what's good, man?
Graham, what up, A. Graham?
Lahain.
Shalom, Nicole.
Shalom, nigga.
Oh man.
We squab with it now, nigga. We squab with it now, nigga.
Nah, we got Drake in the building. You know what I'm talking about? We got my Yiddish brother in the building. We not putting no pressure on you, though, Drake. You could just sit back.
Hey, listen, Rez.
Yes.
Hey, listen, Rez. Am I coming through clear?
Coming through clear. You good?
Okay, because I hear a little back feed, and that might be coming from Massage just in case they want to tap in. Hey, look, how deep do you want to go? I mean, seriously, like how deep do you want to go? You want to keep it PG, or do you just want to go all in, and then everybody that's on this chat just get eliminated from YouTube? How far you want to go?
We gonna scratch the surface. We gonna scratch the surface. We ain't gonna go DEFCON 3 right now.
Okay, because you're right. Because you remember what Jordan Maxwell said, right? He said some things are for private, right? And some things are for public. Okay, so we'll go public. Look, I love everybody in the chat room. I like the panel. This is my first time really getting a chance to talk to you. When you came to Maryland, I didn't get a chance to holler at you, but I hollered at your brother though. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why I didn't holler at you. You know why I didn't holler at you?
Tell me, Drake.
Because I had a funny feeling that because you're the red pill, right?
Yes.
It was going to take some time. It was going to take some time to digest it and really communicate with you. So I took the blue pill out that day.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know
All
what
right.
I'm talking about? Life is about decisions.
Yeah, seriously. Right. So we can go and get started. Look, you want to know why my man lost, why he threw it?
I want to know why he threw it, man.
Why he messed up the bagging thing?
I know y'all.
He messed up the bagging thing. Oh, absolutely. That's my dog. I had to get permission from him to use his likeness. I had his likeness for over 14 years now. That's my avatar. Okay. So every time, hold on. So every time when you see see his face, it's really mean magic to me. All right. I'm playing a different game.
Drizzy.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do a whole episode on meme magic. I'm glad that you brought that up because BBL Drake is considered meme music, right? Drake was he's a meme god. I didn't even, I realized it, but we're gonna talk about meme magic on a whole show one day, and I'll bring you through. But keep cooking, Tim.
Okay, so look, I'm gonna keep it real, young. I didn't want to get on this joint. I had to go through some checks and balances just to get on this joint. So this conversation being recorded, of course, it's on YouTube. So now they got access to my phone. And then what do they want? They want a camera. So then they got access to my camera. No, I can't go that far. Anyway, look, dog, young, the Bama laws, because 10 years ago, Kendrick said in the Control freestyle with Big Sean and my nigga Jay Electronica, the Farrakhan rap. I'm telling you, Kendrick cooked. He told the world what he was going to do. So if we say I've been on for 12 years. Right. I've been having this my avatar for 12 years. I know red pill and blue pill when they were little youngins.
Youngingtons.
Before they are the men they are now. Look, that's besides the point. Kendrick said that dog, he said he didn't want to hear another noun or verb out of none of y'all niggas. I told Drake, I said, bruh, if it come down to it, leave that little youngin' alone from Compton, man. He said he was epitomizing that he was Tupac. God damn. Of course we was gonna lose.
You feel me? But Drizzy, I thought that you was Bupac. I thought you was tapped into that Pac energy though. You got the ring, right?
No.
I fuck with Pac, but I'm a Zionist.
That's right.
And it's bigger than Pac.
That's right.
All right. It's bigger than the Israelites too, right?
Yeah, talk to me about them niggas, them Israelites.
Oh my God. Oh.
See, look, y'all gotta give me a second because they won't let me hear y'all in response. So y'all coming through like AI right now. So I can hear a little bit of the response, but y'all coming through like y'all was the original T-Pain. That nigga Future only got on the scene. Future only got on the scene because Jay-Z already put the hit out on T-Pain. Look, it's bigger than hip-hop like Erykah Badu, young. I'ma digress. Y'all talk. Let me see what y'all talking about. Damn.
All right, man. All right. You a Zionist of a few words. I ain't mad at you though. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know when I can start cooking though.
Zionist in the list. T-Blue Zionist, but Zionist in the list.
Black Zionists, we appreciate
y'all, my dudes, go and talk. I'm done. I'm gonna listen.
Yes, sir. Salute, King.
Hey, like you said, it was Compton versus Canada. What did y'all expect to happen for real?
Man,
What do we expect to happen? Ginger ale will not prevail. It's not. No.
You said ginger ale will not prevail.
Yeah, it's come on. It was Canada versus Compton. What we think was about to happen?
Canada Dry versus Compton.
Yeah, come on, man. Ginger ale will not prevail.
Damn, that was harsh.
I drink.
The white buffalo got his shit rocked.
I drink that every day, bro. Don't be doing that, bro.
Can I read some of my Drake, my Drizzy BBL lyrics? Where my guy? Where Drizzy at? Yo, Drizzy. I wanna recite some of these lyrics. I don't know if it's gonna make it to the actual song because niggas told me to don't take it that they told me to be a little more sillier. So I need the Black Zionist. I need Drizzy to tell me he ready for these bars so I can share with him. And then I need you to rate him.
Hold on before you do it.
All right. All right, I'm waiting. Hold on, Brandon. Peace, Brandon.
Yo.
Peace to the God.
Peace to the God.
King. What's good, man?
Ironically, I'm walking through the oldest Jewish neighborhood in America right now. I live in Hollywood.
You're a legend. Oh my goodness. We walking with you though. I'm walking with you through that bitch. What's the name of that neighborhood so I could research it?
It's Larchmont Village.
Marchmont?
Larchmont with an L.
Bringing up stagnant energy. That's what we do. We bring up stagnant energy, goddammit.
That's dope. Have you ever seen the documentary Empire of Their Own?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's
I heard
about
about it, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's on YouTube and it talks about the beginning of Hollywood. It goes all the way back. You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
Those were Jews that came out of New York and Boston. They were originally trap furriers. They were selling furs. And then they had something called Nickelodeons and vaudevilles. The Nickelodeons were where you put a nickel in and then they would basically do like stage shows and everything. Right?
Interesting.
So so they got ran out of New York by Thomas Edison.
That makes sense.
That nigga was a gangster. Thomas Edison was a gangster. No, he had hitters and whatnot, and he was trying to take over the film industry. So he ran the Jews up out of there, and they went into where you at right now and discovered an orange grove because it was an orange grove at first out there in California. All oranges that they were selling.
Most of these jars got orange trees in the front.
You feel me? And they went ahead and they got financed by the Russian Jews who had money outside of, they just had money. They had their money from Europe and they invested in these Polish and Ukrainian bottom feeders. They were living in ghettos and tenements in New York City and in Boston and places. They were downtrodden. They were downtrodden people. So what the trade-off with Hollywood was the fact that they were able to portray the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant or the European, the trailer trash. When you look at Gone with the Wind and when you look at all of those Hollywood productions, that is not how America was looking, and that was not how they were living. That was all Hollywood tricks. So they were able to give a depiction of white America, picket fence white America, Pleasantville white America through the movie screen, and their reward by white society was they absorbed them into white society. That's how they became white. This all happens in the 1900s, fam.
And they built this bitch up too. And it was funny. One thing I noticed being here, man, you should see it on Halloween. The whole neighborhood is full of ghosts and rituals. Yeah, right. They love that holiday.
Of course, that's their ritual. Like you was just saying, they pull energy from that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see them all the time walking to, I don't know if they call it the church or mass, but they have to wear the big hats. They wear all black, no matter how far they live.
That's the Saturn ritual. That's called the Lubavitch and the Hasidic. They run Brooklyn. They're the landlords and the real estate agents in New York. The black hat is reminiscent of Saturn, rings of Saturn, and they do rituals on Saturday. And there's a lot of stuff that's involved with them, but they are the people who had the tunnel. Remember the tunnel got found with the baby mattress or the baby chair? That's them. Yeah, that's them. And they are considered to be the biggest gang in America because they get super busy with the gunplay. But you'll never know that.
You definitely couldn't tell it by looking at this neighborhood either.
Right. So look up Meyer Lansky, Murder Inc. Right. Those are the people that built Hollywood with guns.
Yo, speaking of Murder Inc., that was the thing I wanted to bring up and see how everybody felt about it. You remember when the towers fell? Because I'm from Alabama, and during that time, that's when Lil Jon came out with all the fight music. That's when the trap music came out with Jeezy. But then also speaking on how they using Pop, with Drake trying to use Pop to shut down Kendrick. 50 did that to shut down Ja Rule, which was interesting too during that time. But what do you take from that? Because one thing I saw from it was, even though I guess he called out the fake gangster in Ja Rule, but he was at the time putting out music that was he usually had a woman in the song with him, and they were usually talking about how much they cared about each other, how much they needed each other. And then once they did that, they remade that Hail Mary song, shut him down. I really haven't heard a lot of man-woman music talking to each other with love again after that. Think there's something to that?
Remember, they Murder Inc. was in the bad. They fell out of favor with the record labels because they wanted to go independent and do distribution, and they were in bed with the troublemakers, Jay Prince, Suge Knight, and the worst one out of all of them, Kenneth Supreme. He's the worst one. Not he's the worst one in the eyes of the federal government because he's the most militant out of all of them. He made a movie. There was a remake. He made a movie. There was a remake of an Iceberg Slim book where they were talking about, if anybody reads Iceberg Slim when they was locked up, you remember Marcellus. The Marcellus figure is the same figure that you see in Pulp Fiction that they broke him. They broke him. That was Ving Rhames. That's Marcellus from Iceberg Slim book. So he came out of what they came out. Kenneth Supreme made a movie where they was killing the police, and after that, that's when they put him in the feds forever. And they was like, enough is enough, because you're using Hollywood money, you're using industry money, y'all are using drug money and mixing it with industry money, and then y'all trying to be your own distribution. Oh no, you keep in mind. You are in mafia land right now. You might not realize it, but you're in mafia land. And that mafia is tied into the music industry, it's tied into the fashion industry, and it's tied into the film industry. And they took that industry with pure violence. So Ja Rule had to go. Guess who 50 Cent is aligned with? Eminem. Guess who Eminem is? Paul Rosenberg. He's aligned with Jimmy Iovine. He's aligned with these quote unquote small hats. So he became the hitter. Yeah, he became hitter.
Damn.
And he took out Ja Rule because Ja Rule was the one who was funding Murder Inc. He was getting the most money out of all of these artists that were coming together to form their own quote unquote independence. And then there's rumors, and it's not, I can't prove it, but they said that Jay-Z was the one who snitched because him and Liar Cohen became buddy after that, and they made him a president. And that's the same beef that they're having with Drake. And they're like, yo, you're going to try to be president of Universal. There's a conflict because how you going to be the artist and the president? So Jay-Z was the artist. He got ethered by Nas. And then everybody who was siding with Nas that he didn't like when he became president of Def Jam, cut him off.
Wow.
What you saying make a lot of sense, Red, because think about Think about the one person who always had beef with Lior and was saying stuff. It was always Dame Dash, and he was directly affiliated with Rockefeller. So basically, when the split happens, Dame is standing on business, and then the artists are split up because they're like, we want to follow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They got in his ear. They said Dame is bad for business, and they showed him what the future was going to look like. Look, this is where the music business is going, and this is, you could play a part in it. You want in or you want out, because we're about to consolidate all these labels, and there is going to be no more Rockefeller. That shit was cute, but we're about to cut all of these labels off. Didn't they do that? They absorbed all of the labels underneath one umbrella. They got rid of all of these Dame Dash black niggas that was trying to boss up and whatnot. And they kept all of the glorified help at the labels, meaning you had to be a compromised Negro to stay. They had to have a tape on you, or you just had to be real coonish. But anybody that was walking around with their chest out, like, you know, they let Supreme in the building, they didn't like that. Haitian Jack and them, they didn't like that. Jimmy Henchman, they didn't like that, because Jewish men could not play Mafia around these real gangsters, because they were not hood niggas, they were not gang bangers, they were gangsters. What's the difference between a gangbanger and a gangster? Gangsters got money and gangbangers don't. That it starts right there. They had it on Vlad, where the nigga Keefy D was like, yo, we was protecting P. Diddy and these niggas, and they was giving us tickets to the show. That's how they was paying them. Y'all are some broke ass niggas. If that's the case, you can't do that to no gangster. I bet you they wasn't giving Haitian Jack no backstage tickets. You had to give him a Rolex, you had to give him a bag of money, or you had to let them rob somebody who had a lot of money, who was you know, lions was amongst the sheep. So the industry dudes that got all of the money, that's the sheep. They're in the VIP, they're in the green room. A brother like Tupac brings the lions in with him. That's why they didn't like Tupac in the industry, because he was running around with the niggas that was robbing niggas. So who wants to be around that nigga? So Tupac wasn't liked either, because he brought the gangbangers around and they was robbing people and they was making people feel uncomfortable. But there's a big difference between gangsters and gangbangers. It was the gangsters, the last dinosaurs in the industry, that made the Jews pull the panic button and call the feds on them. That's how they cleaned them up out of there. They made the feds lock up they threw cases on them, because here you got people knocking on Liar Cohen's door. Playboy, where my money at? Where my artist money at? I'm not trying to hear that. Where's our publishing? Where's our thing? They you know, they gangsters. So nobody is gonna. They got the whole label shook. So what do the executives do? They get the FBI involved. Yo, they trying to extort us. There's racketeering right now. I'm not safe. This is $1 billion. Our shareholders are not safe.
Wow.
So
you know, I got a taste of that Mafia energy a couple years ago. Buddy, he set up a cannabis church down the street on Melrose, where you could basically donate to get, you know, your THC and whatnot. And after about a year, got connected to a very popular Jewish lawyer who said he wanted to help keep it and set it up and all of this. And then maybe a month later, man, maybe like 10 FBI agents came in, stormed the place, raided it. It's like 21-year-old girls in there working, took all of them to jail, took everything in the room, shut it down. Right.
Because in Hollywood and in California, especially because of the J. Hoover connection, the Israel is using the alphabet agencies to do all of their work. So they're using the DEA for the drugs. They use the FBI for the espionage, right? These are people with quote unquote 2 citizenships, one to Israel, the other to America, and they're all up and down the alphabet. They all up in the alphabet agencies. So if you fall out of favor, they just gonna send the agency to shut you down. If you become competition to their business, you might be selling cannabis legally. They are going to utilize their connections to shut you down. And the last draw is the IRS. They'll get you on the money side, on the taxes and everything. But they utilize all of these shell corporations and these alphabet agencies to do their bidding and whatnot. They're not coming as the Mossad. They're not coming as foreign nationals. They're coming as government agents.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they shut shit down. So people were having an issue about Drake because they're like, yo, you were like one of those mystery type of people that we don't know how far your connections go. You out here getting niggas in Canada locked up, but you also could let people through the border. What kind of energy are you dealing with? Remember, there was artist 21 Savage. They just let that nigga through. He has a conviction. They let him in Canada. Drake made the phone call. I think Nicki Minaj got her husband through, who's a sex offender. Drake made the phone call. This nigga was on. He's with the Hell's Angels. He's running with the Hell's Angels. He's running with the Canadian government. He's running with the Israeli government. He's running with the Lucian and the top music executives. So it's such a thing as some people are getting too big for their britches, and they got to get fucking. We need a diagnostic. We need to check this nigga. So he got checked. And he could not pass the check. He didn't pass the check because, to be honest with you, they didn't even hit him with all of those accusations yet. They didn't even dump on him with that yet. They just start warming him up. And he's already like, I'm going on vacation, working on this BBL. Wow. So we are literally helping out niggas in Toronto because if y'all are going to live life with this is your Tupac, we're not going to allow you to go into 2025. This is an exorcism, and y'all will thank us later. You know what I'm talking about? Because we can't let that go. You know what I mean? Nobody knows who this dude is really, and we're beginning to find out. Has anybody ever told their mother that one of their friends is racist?
No.
Like I fell out with niggas that my moms know before, but never once. And we've had words and everything. They said a whole bunch of things. Never once did I turn to Mama Pill and be like, she's like, oh, who is Rufus? I'm like, he's just a racist guy that I used to work with. Huh?
Yeah, that's a bad awkward.
Yeah.
You calling a black man racist to your mama? So that alone lets you know that we're not dealing with the same type of people that we're used to dealing with. This is an outsider. This is Jake Scully. This is quote unquote Sam Worthington. This is an avatar walking amongst us, but he is not us.
Yeah, if a Trojan horse was a person.
If a Trojan horse was a person, and to show you that he was an outsider and he doesn't even respect, because the trade-off, people talk about, oh, Drake put these niggas on. No, he did not put them on. He did not put them on. He exasperated a lot of their fuckery. He did what the small hats do. They come in, they see that you weak and whatnot, they see that you compromise, and they will throw money at your weakness. They'll throw money at your vice. They'll throw money at your dysfunction and whatnot. And what he got in return was access to our women, because what the fuck is what people be like, oh, he got a hood pass. Do you know how to cash in your hood pass? Because I do. Do you know what a fucking hood pass? Do you know when you swipe a hood pass, what that gets you? When you have everything, what do you need? What else? What can a hood pass get you but reputation and black women? You level up on your woman now. Oh, shit, I'm in the club with Future. What we talking about? I'm standing next to little baby, nigga. There's women inside of Atlanta that would never ever fucking look at me. I'm super duper lame. They looking at the algorithm. The algorithm is throwing them off. But because you got a hood pass, you get that ass. You know what I mean? And we let white boys in before and gave them hood pass, and we passed our women on to them. And then in hindsight, we realized, nigga, that's what was going on back in the days. It don't work. There's no woman on the earth that came back to us and was like, thanks for handing us over to a fucking snow king, nigga. I appreciate it. Like, I've never met one. I'm looking for Serena to give somebody thanks for introducing her to her wife, but I've never happened. I'm talking about when you get passed off to a white man, not when you just meet him randomly. I'm talking about when niggas say, "Go, here's my white friend. Go and rock out with him. He's gonna do you right. He's gonna turn you up. He's gonna pipe you up." It never happened in the history of mankind.
Right.
Never happened in the history of mankind. So he benefited more off of that cultural exchange than these rappers benefited, because they was gonna blow up anyway. He catches niggas on the way up as it is. They don't necessarily need one of his verses. They could have popped off with a Boozy verse. But what did he get? He got our women, bro. He got
get the
access to
cosign.
these little women. He got access to these children and these women, bro. That's what he got.
Damn.
No, Khalees is not with Bill Murray no more.
Oh man,
she left that nigga and then glowed up. How about that? She had to go to Africa and go get her motherfucking some Afro beats and whatnot. That's how she blew up. When she was with Bill Murray.
Ghostbusters.
When she was with Bill Murray, she was wearing overalls. She wasn't looking right.
That was her relationship midlife crisis, and then
that
she
was her
out of it.
Right. That was her. I'm in fucking help me. That was her help. That nigga sent a ticket from Zimbabwe. It was like, here's your help, probably.
She probably after that.
She called it choppers.
After that, though, she probably had the right dude shooting their shots, because before they was like, damn, if Khalees is this down bad and he can shoot his shot, damn it, what I got to lose? So then it applied pressure for people that would better compliment her to step up.
Look, we got Drake to tap out. I think the show is over now. He's conceded. He conceded. It's too much pressure. They said that the artwork at the synagogue is falling off the wall. We banging on them so hard. You feel me? The bread is flattened and whatnot. We out here burning up the culture. We cooking the kosher franks in real time. Yes. Tap out. You know what I'm talking about? That's all we need. He said.
We gotta end the live stream before they call Leor orders.
They about to call the motherfucking, and they might call the jet fighters in on us, boy.
They go press the red button, and
the red button is coming. Hold on, that red button. Listen, guys, fellas, it's been nice. You know what I'm saying? We had a great time today. I don't want that red button. They about to call Sandra on us. We don't want to get on Sandra's bad side.
Yeah, because who's Sandra there? Great. We don't know who Drake's grandpa is.
Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So yeah, shout out to Khalees. You know what I mean? She's glowing up. You know what I mean? And it's obvious she got far away from the mayonnaise. You know what I'm talking about?
It's the Ghostbuster.
Yeah, that red button. I'm not even chancing it. This nigga said the red button. I'm packing my shit up. I'm out. You know what I'm talking about? I am out. You know what I mean?
Yo. Every melanated person should read the Knights of Columbus Creed, 1863. There is your answer.
Can you drop that link if you can, the PDF in the chat before we get out of here?
Google it. Knights of Columbus Creed.
Knights of Columbus Creed. Let me type it in there. Boom. Yo, I went to Columbus, Ohio.
Yo.
You know that's where they at, the Knights of Columbus. Famo.
Read that.
Man, the spell that they had on that city, I felt it in the fucking. You could cut it with a butter knife. Yo, they got a deep spell on Columbus, Ohio, with that Masonic shit. It is real, but I'm excited because Yo, Brandon, please make sure you go see Empire of Their Own. It's a documentary. The book is better, but you can watch the documentary on YouTube for free.
Write it down now.
And Century of Self. That's all required. We're gonna have a watch party. Century of Self, Empire of Their Own. I was watching that like 20 years ago. No, like 10 years ago. That's good for anybody coming in this bitch because it opened up my eyes and helped me. I could assist y'all, but the information is what's going to help you. I can't help people. I could show you, I could bring you to it, but the information is what liberated me. You know what I mean? It's what broke the chains for me. So hopefully the information, because it's non-biased, you don't gotta like red pill. You don't gotta be into red pill. The information is right there for you though.
Wow.
So
appreciate that.
I will see everybody on Sunday. The link is in the bio if you want to get your tickets. The shits is mad affordable. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not trying to get rich off of this. I want to teach. I want our people to learn. All of my Patreon members, if you want a 44 tier, no, matter of fact, if you want a $20 tier and up, you're going to be in the building with us. You don't even got to worry about it. But yeah, we're going to be cooking this Sunday. I'm bringing receipts. I'm bringing information. I'm deep diving. Once I get off of this live, I'm locking myself in until you won't see me till Sunday. I'm studying. You know what I mean? But we're gonna revisit the Rothschilds. We're gonna revisit the Frank Sabians, which is a sect out of the Caucasus Mountains that were murderers. We're gonna revisit the Khazarian Mafia. We're gonna revisit the fact that that these people are literally American gods, right? In their quote unquote persona, right? The appeal that, you know, if somebody got 100 million followers, that's more than certain countries, bro. Like there's immense power that is being held inside of these quote unquote these you know, these celebrities that have hundreds of millions of people's hearts and minds in the palm of their hand. So, that part.
Peace to the gods.
Yeah, let's continue to spirit cook these people. Put them in the pot, roll them, put them in a Dutch and roll them up. I'm gonna have to end it with the infinity stone. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're literally seeing our ops getting cooked in real time. They getting put in the Dutch and we rolling them up. You know what I mean? Unapologetically, it gotta happen like that. So with that being, yeah, there you go, get it going. You know what I mean? Steve, man, salute, King. We'll do this again real soon. Yeah, we'll do this.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get back in touch with you, man, because I emailed you a couple years ago and we talked about some business and stuff like that. But I'm gonna definitely tap back in with you.
Yeah, hit me.
Appreciate
up.
you for hitting me on the panel. Oh yeah,
I love that artwork. I want to.
We're gonna get busy,
make something happen.
Yes, sir.
All right, yo, and screw the game. You know what I mean? Jason Taylor, you weird, bro. You weird. You must need rent paid or something. You stay out of it, bro. Stay out of it. You
if you know, he does that shit all the time.
All the time. He's the illest clout chaser. You need to, you know, you disrespecting the West, my nigga. Come on, you not that big. You not that big.
On Ja Rule, put the goddamn championship trophy down, my nigga. Put that.
Oh
shit
yeah, y'all invested in this championship. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, we're gonna end with the Infinity Stones. Love and light to the family. We will see you very, very soon. Peace. Go and get that album, y'all. I'm gonna put the website up. Go and get that album. It's free. Bars is back. We're bringing the bars back. We're bringing bars back.
Wait. Put them in a Dutch and roll them up. You put them in a trust like Royal Dutch. Tesla coil clutch.
Hold on. Ha! This is for your boy. This is for Drake. Put them in a Dutch. Roll them up. Yo.
Wait. Put them in a Dutch and roll them up. You put them in a trust like Royal Dutch. Tesla coil clutch on a Tesla truck. Matte back finish like oil slush. Cheerio guts like royal flush. We get the royals crush and superiors touch. If ever my blood in the soil touch. In God we trust. Go to Rosno Russ, squads are rushing prematurely bust like been a man of Massachusetts. Back to the party, we blasting music. The hood of justice, amassing nooses. Mansa Musa just passing through this. 40 karat gold, massa mooses. The last train to Auschwitz, we on the last cabooses. The block is still sturdy, the Glock is still dirty. They shot it for 30 like Brock Purdy. They poppin' the perky, yeah, top 30. Million Lincolns just to free the slaves. The ships are sinking and it's still free to wave. Either way. Going to December. 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 Richfield, the new member of Bricks, agenda was flipped. FIFA Vendetta, all of my vendors is rich. See more script in the blender is mixed. More of the story, remember your gifts. FIFA Vendetta, blood came through in a blood moon, dismember the Crips. Members extending the whip, extended the clip, dismember the blick. Remember the Titan, Coach Boone said to remember the sips. The Scorpion King, blood moons on November the 5th. FIFA Vendetta, know y'all remember the flick. Know y'all remember the flick. Suburbans is swerving. Q45, Infinity roam through my entity zones.
These niggas taking in they buns like Kimberly Jones. Waving these guns at our enemies' dome. Max out my bid, now they sending me home. Glass on my wrist packed with plenty of stones. They jacking my fist, and plenty of clones who pretend to be friends to me, frenemies. In parentheses, who tend to be convincing me the energy is chemistry. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be. Reality presents to me instantly the entities. For your instancy, for your sensory perception. They got a history of deception. Couple centuries under repressions. I'm the diamond deformed under all that compression. I'm Paul in the Western, the one in the Eastern is running the key firm. I got strong genes, they a weak germ, they need CERN. I open portals when I release sperm.
We was taught to venerate the feds cause they generate the bread. Dark man, that's my whole generation dead. We tapped in the quantum realms. That's what the simulation said. They disseminating imitation meds. Placebo effect, they disseminating imitation reds. I was on the road to the riches. Right off the interstate we sped. You niggas haven't been in date with feds. And Smith and Walensky. Like we're Cypher and Agent Smith B. They sold us out for steak and chips. And a trip in the Bentley. And to be assed out like Pasa Pasa. And you're making chips is dripping in Fenty. Yeah, these slutty vegans, they be on impossible. Faking, bitch, you niggas faking shit. Y'all was never really plugged in, y'all on some Quaker shit. Woke niggas, y'all was never really on the waking shit. Ain't no shook hands in Brooklyn, y'all ain't shaking shit. Race of bitch, my braces got chips from both for glacier drifts. Run my VVS's through the Jamaica glitch. Men lie, women lie, this ain't in its nature, bitch. Yeah, they banned us from TV, same year that y'all niggas heard nature spit. Iced out anchors from out of Anchorage. Yeah, it is what it is, that's that Cameron and Mason shit. Yeah, man shooting, Panthers in the Carolines, like with Cam Newton. A cancer to this paradigm, we all in, undisputed. I'm one of the ones that the ones recruited. Like Steven and Shannon, we heaving these hammers. Bella and the Bulldogs, we squeezing these cannons. 100 shooters like Mark Jackson and the Mark Buchanan. At first take, we leaving you stranded. On second thought, we leaving you bandaged.